Vintage meets spring. Layer florals, pastels, and antiques for a grand millennial home vibe. Hey there, lovely people. It's Emma from Decor, and today, I'm beyond excited to take you on a journey into the world of grand millennial home decor, where vintage charm meets the freshness of spring. If you're someone who loves layering florals, playing with pastels, and bringing antiques into your space, then this is the perfect design story for you. There's something so comforting about a home that feels lived in, warm, and full of history, yet still fresh and full of life. That's what the grand millennial aesthetic is all about. It's a beautiful mix of old-world elegance and modern charm. And today, we're diving deep into how you can achieve this timeless, layered look in your home. So, grab a cup of tea, cozy up, and let's talk about creating a space that feels like a vintage springtime dream. When I think of spring-inspired decor, the first thing that comes to mind is florals. And not just any florals, big, bold, vintage-inspired prints that feel like they belong in your grandmother's house, yet somehow look incredibly stylish and fresh. The trick to pulling this off? Layering. Mix small, delicate floral patterns with larger, more dramatic ones. A chintz-upholstered armchair, paired with a pastel floral wallpaper and lace-trimmed curtains, creates a look that feels both nostalgic and refreshing. Don't be afraid to add floral printed throw pillows, vintage china, or even botanical artwork to tie everything together. Florals bring in that breath of fresh air that makes springtime decorating so special. Pastels are the heart of a spring-inspired Grandmillennial home. Think soft blush pinks, powder blues, buttery yellows, and gentle mint greens. All shades that feel light, airy, and effortlessly elegant. When using pastels, balance is key. If your walls are a soft pastel, consider deeper, richer hues in your furniture or decor to ground the space. For example, a sage green velvet sofa pairs beautifully with a light floral rug and vintage wooden coffee table. Or if you love a more neutral space, introduce pastels through accents, like a pink glass vase, a baby blue lampshade, or a delicate lavender throw blanket. These small touches make a big impact without overwhelming the space. Antiques bring so much depth and history to a home. Whether it's a beautifully aged wooden dresser, an ornate gold mirror, or a vintage brass chandelier, these pieces tell a story. The beauty of Grandmillennial design is that it embraces imperfections. Those little scratches, patinas, and worn edges that make a piece feel truly special. Mixing antique finds with modern touches is the secret to making your space feel curated rather than cluttered. Imagine a delicate floral sofa paired with a mid-century modern coffee table, or an ornate vintage mirror reflecting a sleek, modern light fixture. This mix of old and new creates a look that is uniquely yours. Let's talk textures, because in a Grandmillennial home, they matter just as much as color and pattern. Lace tablecloths, tufted cushions, pleated lampshades, and embroidered throw pillows all add layers of softness that make a home feel inviting. A vintage wicker chair with a floral cushion instantly adds charm, while a soft pastel quilt draped over a velvet armchair makes the space feel cozy and intentional. Don't forget about china and ceramics, delicate porcelain teacups, hand-painted plates, and floral-printed serving trays add that extra layer of graceful nostalgia. Spring is also about freshness and light, so embrace natural elements in your decor. Fresh flowers in vintage vases, delicate greenery trailing from antique planters, and soft, billowy curtains that let in the sunshine create an airy and romantic feel. If you have a bay window or a cozy nook, turn it into a reading corner with a floral upholstered chair, a soft pastel throw, and a stack of antique books. It's those small details that make a Grandmillennial home feel so personal and inviting. Lighting plays a huge role in setting the mood. Vintage-inspired lamps with pleated or fringed shades, ornate brass sconces, and crystal chandeliers all add a touch of old-world elegance. But don't be afraid to mix in modern lighting for contrast. A sleek, contemporary floor lamp next to a floral-patterned armchair creates an unexpected but stunning combination. And of course, candles, lots and lots of candles. Tapered candlesticks in pastel holders or vintage brass candle stands add that romantic glow that makes a space feel magical in the evenings. One of my favorite things about the Grandmillennial aesthetic is how it celebrates sentimentality. This style invites you to display family heirlooms, frame old love letters, or showcase vintage photos in ornate frames. These little personal touches make your home feel uniquely yours. If you love thrifting, this is the perfect excuse to hunt for one-of-a-kind treasures. Whether it's a delicate china set, an antique wooden clock, or a beautifully weathered trunk that doubles as storage, the more personal, the better. Now that we've explored all the elements of a vintage meets spring Grandmillennial home, let's talk about how to bring it all together. Start with a few key pieces, maybe a floral wallpapered accent wall, a pastel armchair, or an antique wooden dresser. Then, slowly layer in smaller details like textured fabrics, decorative ceramics, and vintage-inspired lighting. The goal is to create a space that feels balanced, not overly cluttered or too matchy-matchy. If something feels too overwhelming, step back and edit. Sometimes less is more when it comes to achieving that perfect vintage yet fresh aesthetic. In the end, a grand millennial home is all about comfort, nostalgia, and charm. It's about creating a space that feels like a warm embrace, where the past meets the present in the most beautiful way. Whether you're layering florals, incorporating pastels, or mixing antiques with modern touches, your home should reflect your personality and the things you love most. So, have fun with it, experiment, and let your space tell a story. I hope this has inspired you to bring a little vintage springtime magic into your own home. Until next time, happy decorating!